We often hear about our 322 line and our 325 line here on the lake. Is that anywhere tied in with that flood area?
It is a little bit. Sometimes that FEMA flood zone extends past that. 322 is typically, this is 322 feet above sea level. And that is what is considered the normal full level of Cedar Creek Lake. So where you see the lines on the boat dock pylons and on the retaining walls where the water's at, that's going to be pretty close to 322 feet above sea level. Now you have what they call the 325 line. You'll hear this pretty common. This is an area that is surveyed off around the lake that Tarrant Regional Water District, they own up to that property. And so that's their land. Just like you buy your land, they buy their land. They own that. And so in the case of, drastic rain, flooding, things like that, all types of mechanics and engineering go into this, but it's figured basically with the rate at which they can open the spillway and the capacity of the lake, that as it rises from 322, by the time that it gets to 325, they can control the increase of water, the increase of water level, and they can start to reduce that using the spillway and other measures to keep it from just getting out of control, damaging the dam, things like that. So technically, up to that point, if Tarrant Regional wanted to, they can flood the lake up to that point and not be liable really for any damages to property. So in that means that if you buy a lot, you get the use below the 325 line, but they want you to build your house above that 325 line. They don't want you building the actual living structure down below that. We also have a few places around the lake that actually have a 330 line, and it isn't so much about that is exactly where 325 feet or 330 feet is exactly above sea level. That is the actual surveyed line for that back in the 50s, 60s when they were setting up the lake. So if you took your tape measure and went down to Galveston and measured up from the ocean to there, it may not be exactly at 325 line. And just because you come in there and you think, okay, that's at that, well, I'm just going to bring in dump trucks full of dirt and I'm just going to raise my house platform up to 350 and build my house. I'm out of that. No, that survey line is still there no matter how high or how low you build that dirt platform.
Well, you were talking about that they own that property up to this 325 line, and you're not allowed to build a structure down below this. Now, I've personally seen, being around this lake, that there are some houses that maybe their surveyors or contractors didn't pay as close of attention to this line, or maybe these were homes that were built a long time ago, maybe even before the lake came in, that just happened to be sitting below this line. Is there anything they can do about that?
Yeah, there are certain houses that were built prior to 1988 that were built over this line. Now, it's not 100% guarantee, but it's pretty well that if the house was built before 1988, and this survey line of this 325 flood line comes up through the house, that you can get into negotiations and possibly purchase that footprint of the house where it sticks over that 325 line from Tarrant Regional Water District. They will consider that sale. Now, if your house was built after 1988 and it was built over that line, highly unlikely that you're going to be able to purchase that footprint.
Well, if they're not able to purchase, what can they do about their home then?
What Tarrant Regional will do is they will consider a lease of that footprint. You'll get your surveyor out there, figure out the square footage, get the realtors out there, do some market analysis, figure out what that specific footprint is worth, and they can negotiate a lease with you, maybe up to like a 99-year lease, to where you have full possession of that footprint and use of it, but you don't technically own the title. You just lease that portion. The other option would be is that you come in and you modify your house, and so you take out a piece of your house. We've seen this in a few places where homeowners had a little corner of the house. It wasn't huge, but it was over that, and so they came in and had their contractors take off that corner of the house right back to where that survey line was, fix the problem right there. Simple.
Well, if Dare County has control over everything that falls below this 325 line, such as your house that may be over the line a little bit, does that mean everything that's involved inside the lake is under their jurisdiction?
Yeah, it's going to be underneath their jurisdiction and Army Corps of Engineers, Tarrant Regional